I hope you'll bear with me. This is my first video. Don't know what you guys are seeing because I can kind of see myself in the picture, but you know, kind of a blind guy. Um, I want to tell you about the worst day of my life that comes once a month. It's the same day every month, and it's the day that I get a check deposited in my bank account. It's the third of the month, and the check comes from the federal government. It comes from the Social Security Administration, and it's for my disability because I don't have a job, because I can't get anyone to hire me. It's not because I'm not an intelligent guy. I've got an undergraduate degree and a law degree to prove that. It's not because I don't want to work. The last year alone, I've applied, according to LinkedIn, for at least 275 jobs that I am qualified for. And that's just on one website. And I've applied for a lot more. I know I've got a well-written essay, because I called it an essay, but you know what I mean. Resume. It's been a long day already. And I know I got a good resume because I write well. And I was a professional recruiter for several years. I know I've got a good cover letter because I've worked on it. I've made it a point to have a good cover letter because I've looked for reasons. I've tried to figure out, why don't I have a job? Why don't I have my independence at 39 years old with all the things that I have going for me, including an incredibly loving family, great friends? Why don't I have those things? I can't go and get those quote unquote filler jobs that most people have when they can't find a better work. No one's going to hire me to wait tables. No one's going to hire me to do a lot of the things that people do when they have a difficult time finding work. So what do? I had to walk into that SSDI office and tell them that I'm disabled. I don't feel disabled. Yeah, my eyes suck. No question about that. And they always have, and they probably always will. I'm okay with that. But that shouldn't mean, it doesn't mean that I can't work. And it pisses me off that the government thinks it does. Because the government is society. And that means society has decided that I can't work. And they're wrong. Not only can I want to. This is not a lifestyle for me. This isn't living. This is waiting to die. That's not how life should be for anybody. I'm not independent. I rely on everybody else to do everything. I'm a burden to my family and friends. Now, they don't make me feel that way because that's not who they are. I wouldn't be friends with people who did. But I know it. I know it. And it sucks. It really does. But the thing is, it's not about just me. Sure, do I hope that these videos are funny and educational and meaningful for some people? Yep. Do I hope that eventually maybe they result in somebody taking a shot, even though it's not taking a shot because I work my ass off, literally. And I got a big ass, so I got a lot to work off. Yeah, of course I do. Of course I hope that. But it's not about that. It's about the 70 to 80% of people with disabilities who are unemployed. And there's no excuse for it. There's no reason for it. They don't want to be. People don't want to spend their lives relying on everybody else for everything. Now, some of them don't have a choice. Some people with disabilities have so many challenges, but there's still something they could do if given the opportunity. I don't know what that necessarily is. I'm not an expert in accessibility. But something could be found that they could do to feel like they were contributing and productive in our society. So the third of every month, worst day of my life, 12 times a year. But I need it. I had to swallow every ounce of my pride to ask for that money. And I hate getting it. But what choice do I have? Because it's that or nothing. Because I can't get a job. And I've created my own job. I worked for myself. I built a law firm from nothing. From the second floor of my 80-year-old grandmother's house. She's 89 now. So I guess she was 84 at the time. And it failed. Because building a law practice from scratch is hard. I was a good lawyer. I represented my clients well. But I didn't have the capital to keep it going. And cases take a long time to settle. So I had to close it. Ever since then, I've been doing piecemeal work for people, doing consulting. I don't know what more I can do. I spend every day sitting in front of this computer, usually with some music on or TV, a low hum of cable news in the background because music keeps a blind guy sane. And nothing. Occasionally I'll get an interview. Sometimes I'll even get a second interview, but I can't quite seem to seal the deal. And I hate, anyone who knows me knows this to be true, I hate using my disability as an excuse for anything. I loathe that. But when I look at all my law school classmates, my friends from college, or kids who graduated college last week, figuratively, of course, they've all got jobs. They've all got somebody who's given them a chance, who's allowed them to be self-sufficient. That's what I want, to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. I don't think that's a lot to ask. I'm a hard worker, man, because I know I have to prove myself. I know I have to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard, 4 times as hard. But I can adapt. I've adapted every day of my life since I was born. I find different ways to do things. By the way, you're probably looking at my eyes. They look pretty funky, right? You don't think when I walk into an interview, I know that somebody's looking at my right eye? Of course they are. Of course they are. You don't think when I go on a first date, somebody's thinking, what the hell is wrong with this kid's eyes? I have to tell interviewers, I have to tell first dates before I meet them so they don't get freaked out and spend the rest of the interview or the date thinking about my eyes. Why do you think I'm still unemployed and single? I laugh because if I didn't, I'd cry. It's just the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I've never been one to do that. I'm not going to make you feel good. This isn't about inspiring anybody necessarily. I hope my words do. I hope that in subsequent videos, when I talk about overcoming a lot of the obstacles and the things that I've overcome, some people are inspired. And maybe I'll even get a chance to speak to groups of kids and groups of people. I've done it before. I'm a pretty damn good speaker. I was a debater in college. I was a lawyer. I am a lawyer, although can't afford my bar dues right now because that whole job thing and bar dues not being cheap. So, okay. But I want to work. I can work. And I don't want disability. I don't want pity. Oh, God, I don't want pity. That's not what this is. This is reality. And I need people to hear that. Because, I'm situationally depressive. I don't whine and kvetch constantly because what's the use? But that doesn't mean that every day isn't a chore for me to get up and sit at this computer and apply for jobs. It doesn't mean that when my family wants to go to dinner and I can't pay, that I don't feel guilty. It doesn't mean that when I see my friends' new job announcements or baby pictures, I am genuinely happy for them. There's no jealousy there. That's not how I roll. But it it does hurt that those things are things that continue to elude me. Um, I just hate getting that check every month. And it's not about the money. It's about what it means. I want nothing more in this life than to go into the Social Security office and say, thank you for the help you've given me for these last however many years it's been, and it's been way too many. But I don't need your money anymore because I have a job. I can stand on my own 2 feet. I am self sufficient. And I get to have a life. Emotionally, financially, in all ways that are important. I get to have my own life because I don't have that right now. This is not living. This is subsisting. This is waiting for the end. And while I'm confident I would never hurt myself, I get why people do. This feeling of uselessness, of not being wanted or needed by society is crippling in and of itself. As I said, I am blessed to have so many friends and family that call me and check on me and care about me and want to see how I'm doing. That's not what this is. This is about the one thing, two things really, but the most important thing that I need in my life is to be independent. And I can't be until I can stop getting those checks and start cashing ones from an employer. And if you're an employer watching this and you've got a job, what am I best at? HR, law, pretty good at both of those. Communications, I'll leave that decision up to you. But I'm an intelligent guy. Give me a shot. I won't disappoint you.